Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
All right, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jaunty Joel.
Oh, jaunty. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? That's definitely a different one.
Yep, we're getting creative.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about a listener request. This one is for Jason Spagnuolo. Not too sure to say your last name, Jason, but this is for you, man. The movie we're gonna movie we are going to review is As Above, So Below.
Oh,
Joel,
man.
who is in this bad boy?
All right, so this one stars Perdita Weeks. She is the main character. She was in Spice World.
Yeah.
Ready Player One. And 52 episodes, probably the entire series so far, of Magnum P.I. I didn't even know that show was still on.
Magnum P.I. Wow.
Yeah. And we've got Ben Feldman. He was in Cloverfield, Friday the 13th, the reboot. And he's currently in a show called Superstore at 113 episodes. That was actually a pretty funny show.
Okay.
I've seen a few episodes of that.
I didn't realize it's been around for that long. 113 episodes?
Yeah, I think it started in like 2015.
Wow.
And it's still going.
All right.
And we've got Edwin Hodge. He's the cameraman. What's his name? Starts with a B. He was in the first 3 Purge movies.
Benji.
What?
Benji.
Oh, yeah, Benji. That's right. Bumblebee and Red Dawn. And this was written by 2, I believe, brothers, John Eric Dowdle and Drew Dowdle. And they are both credited as writing Quarantine, No Escape with Owen Wilson, and the miniseries called Waco. I've heard of it. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, yeah. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
I heard that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have too. It looks pretty good too. And it was directed by John Eric Dowdle, who directed Quarantine, Devil, No Escape, and Waco.
Okay. So, all right. Cool.
The whole series.
Yeah, that when you said that name, I was like, oh, like I feel like we've done an episode with him, and it was Quarantine. We did that at the beginning of the quarantine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
As kind of a joke.
Yeah, I know.
Not too funny.
I think that was you and Katrina, right? Was that you?
No, you weren't in that.
Yeah.
We didn't allow you.
Yeah.
No, we couldn't get together. It was
the
quarantine. So, there you go.
I know.
All right. So this one is about a team of explorers ventures into the catacombs that lie beneath the streets of Paris. They uncover the dark secret that lies within the city of the dead. So there you go.
Man.
Oh, yeah. So, let's talk about what we liked and what we didn't like. So,
All
Joel,
right, so
Joel, what'd you like?
first of all, we have to specify by saying that this is one of those found footage movies.
Oh, yes. True.
You know, there's not quite enough of them where you can just say the name and not be like, oh, it's found footage. But, it's especially around the time that this movie came out, it was pretty saturated.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah. Which is too bad because I think this movie is very underrated. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely an under the radar type of found footage movie. It just came out at a bad time with I think they're coming out with a Paranormal Activity movie every year. Mm-hmm. And there was probably a couple others here and there. Yeah. And people were just, pretty much tired of the found footage movies. So yeah, this movie, I mean, they go into the catacombs in Paris and wind up at the gates of hell. Mm-hmm. It's a crazy concept, especially for a found footage movie.
Yeah.
Like that. So okay, we're gonna go into hell now with our with our recording devices. It's
yeah, he's saying that out loud sounds so ridiculous, but
yeah,
they do a pretty good job with making it it flows
believable,
well, and it works in the movie.
Mm-hmm. It does, yeah. Yeah, and I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's probably one of my favorites of the found footage movies.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It's really good, really underrated.
Okay.
And I like the found footage movies. But I mean, as far as what I'd compare it to, I think Quarantine and Cloverfield are still better than this movie.
Okay.
But I like them better than the Paranormal Activity movies.
Okay.
Blair Witch Project. I mean, it's in the middle-ish of the found footage, but it's closer to the top to me.
Okay.
Top of the middle type of thing.
It's the top half.
It's in the top half for sure.
All right. What do you like?
It's a lot of fun. I like the whole. It's kind of got a National Treasure feel to it.
Right. Yep.
Like a National Treasure horror.
Yeah.
Found footage type movie, which is interesting, for sure. And the acting as far as these found footage movies go, it's good. It's actually I wouldn't say anyone did a bad job with the acting in this movie. I mean, there's obviously some better than others, but everyone did a good job with it. And I liked the when they actually go into the catacombs, it's I like the feel to it. I like the ambiance and everything. The music, there wasn't a whole lot of music there, mm-hmm. but I did like what they had in there, like the chanting and mm-hmm. the drum beats every once in a while, added to the eeriness of the movie, of the scene in particular.
Yeah.
And
in a found footage movie, you can't really have music.
No, you can't really have. No.
But they did, sure. Because there were people underground with them, that mm-hmm. were doing these rituals or whatever. So
yeah.
So they kind of found a way to throw it in there,
to add it in there, and it definitely added to it for sure. Part of that is also a negative, though. I'll get into that in a little bit.
All right.
But yeah, this movie was just really good. That was pretty much the main things for me. Okay. Just the acting and the eeriness and the ambiance when they actually get into, because I don't know if we're gonna. I mean, the movie's kind of old at this point, but it's also a movie that probably not a lot of people have actually seen mm-hmm. because it's so under the radar that I don't know how much of it we should give away.
Sure.
I mean, it's not like any twists and turns or anything like that. It's a pretty straightforward movie. But there is certain scenes there here and there. But so yeah, I'm going to leave it there because it is a good movie. I enjoy it.
All right.
quite a bit.
So what I liked was the claustrophobic atmosphere. It made you feel
That's
so.
that's another thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost so. Benji,
Yeah.
he's gonna go up like this pile of bones into this hole that they're trying to crawl through, and the camera is on like his face, and he's like talking about how he's stuck, and he can't like get through, and like the main actress, she's like yelling at him to do this, do that, blah 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 blah, and he's like so overwhelmed, and she will not shut up, and
Yeah.
he is just, you can like feel that, like I was like, oh my gosh, stop
Yeah.
talking and get out of this spot. And
Yeah.
that was pretty nerve-wracking for sure.
It was,
and
yeah.
especially that scene, but there were plenty of other scenes too where they're just going deeper and deeper down this the catacombs. They're just going through tunnels that are just down. They're going down these like secret passageways and stuff, and it just continues to add to the claustrophobia, because I'm thinking the whole time, how are they even going to get out of here?
Yeah.
Like, I would not
Exactly.
be making these decisions.
Yeah.
like I can't go on a hike without knowing where exactly I'm going and how I'm going to get back. I could not imagine doing this. That was the scariness to me, was that feeling of being trapped and
Yeah.
not being able to get out.
And the catacombs are no joke. Like,
Yeah.
lots of people have disappeared in those
Yeah.
over the years, and yeah.
And then there were a few kills, and those were cool. And there's something about kills in found footage movies that just is so real.
Yeah, it actually makes it. Yeah, with those movies, with especially the found footage movies, it makes me a little bit uneasy when
Yeah.
someone actually dies, because it feels real.
Yeah, it definitely does.
I think I felt that way mostly in probably Cloverfield of
Yeah.
all the found footage films.
Yeah.
For some reason, there was something about that movie. It was just like seeing people get killed off in that movie was,
Yeah,
and it was also like one of the first ones that were
right.
one of
Right.
the first found footage movies too. But yeah, so yeah, the same thing with me for this one too. A couple people did get killed off, and
Yeah.
it definitely added a level of uneasiness.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you were talking about the acting, and that's something I noticed too with found footage films, is I always feel like the acting is good in them. At least, the mainstream ones. I feel like,
For the most part.
yeah. And maybe it's just because of the filming style and, just the way those movies are shot that makes it seem more real. So the acting seems to be better. I'm not sure. But the acting in this one was good.
Yeah, it was.
Had definitely no problem with it. So
Yeah. I mean, you've got one of the actresses from Spice World, so of
yeah.
course it's gonna be amazing.
can't go wrong. And she's in Magnum PI. So
Yeah, exactly.
and then there was a mystery. There's parts like a good amount of the time that they're under in the catacombs. It's they're seeing things that is a little confusing, and
Yeah.
like they're going to different places that doesn't make sense, and
That piano part was creepy.
yeah, and I knew that was coming though.
Yeah,
Like-
but it's still.
I'm like, why is he telling this whole story about this song that he would play, and
Yeah.
how this one key wasn't working, and then he starts playing the song, and it's like, okay, it was cool, but
Yeah.
it was predictable after he started talking about it. But yeah, that mystery was cool. So yeah, those are my big pluses.
Yeah.
All right, I've got some negatives. So Joel,
Okay.
let's start with you.
All right. I don't have a lot of negatives for this movie, but I do. So when I was saying that the chanting was adding to the eeriness of the movie,
Yeah.
it also was kind of weird seeing actual like people in the catacombs just
Yeah.
like doing
Just
this whole
hanging out.
ritual thing. Yeah, like what are you doing here?
Yeah, they just like come across these people in this room, and he's like, "Yeah, there's weird people here or something." It's like, okay,
Yeah, it's like okay, why though?
we're not gonna touch on that more. Or?
So they're chanting and you know all that was creepy like later on in the movie, but at the moment I was like, what is this? Like this is kind of dumb.
And then she like stares at him as they're walking away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
I
we
thought
gonna see
something.
these people again,
Yeah.
or
I thought something was gonna come of that, but
yeah. And I was like, okay, well that's I mean it was only like a minute long, but
yeah.
but the chanting and everything was throughout the movie, so
Yeah,
it was kind of. I don't understand how we heard the chanting still when they were
Right.
like
Like thousands
100
of feet
underneath the yeah.
It just
okay.
goes through the walls.
Yeah. Walls are very thin in the catacombs. So, and also the whole premise. It was very. I liked it. It's a good premise of especially a found footage movie, but it was too. I don't want to say coincidental. There's another word for it that I'm trying to think of. But it's just like
Convenient. Or
yeah, convenient is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
The fact that they're in Paris and that's the place that they need to go.
yeah.
That's where the catacombs are that they need to go is in the city that they're in. Like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a little convenient.
Right.
They don't need to travel somewhere else. They're like in the same city.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean those are pretty much my biggest ones that I had, and I mean they're nitpicks.
Yeah.
For the most part. But yeah, so you've got some negatives of your own here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the whole purpose of them going through all of this is to get this stone.
Mm-hmm.
So
The Philosopher's Stone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's another negative because I just kept thinking about like Harry Potter, like because I'm pretty sure the book is the
Sorcerer's
Harry
Stone?
Potter well, that's the movie, but the book is a Philosopher's Stone. I'm pretty sure.
oh no. The book is the same title. Don't you dare. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is the title of the book. So don't even try.
Pretty sure there was another. There was like another name for that book though, and it was.
I don't know.
But okay.
I don't know, man. It reminded me of like Indiana Jones, trying to find the like crystal skull and the tombs and everything. It kind of had that kind of feel, and I don't know. I didn't care about this stone thing, and then the stone can like heal you and stuff.
Yeah,
and I was
it can't
like,
bring you back to life, but it can heal you.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of lame. I mean, I get that they have to have a reason to go down there, but I would have liked the reason to be a little more realistic, like treasure like that.
Yeah.
Which was it is. That's what it is. It's a treasured item, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really like the whole stone thing. I thought that was kind of weak.
I'm sorry to cut you off. The UK Harry Potter is Philosopher's Stone.
Okay. Well, that's not where we live, Joel.
I know. But for some reason that just like stuck out to me when I heard Philosopher's Stone.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, J.K. Rowling is from the UK, so
Yeah.
maybe that was the original, and you're just so in the know.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
how
totally what
you
I
know
am.
it. Okay, and then I felt like the movie was confusing. I was a little confused with just after they got the stone, like what were they doing? They were just trying to get out, I guess, but
I think they
were getting like lost, and then like she was seeing, I think, her dad or something, and
well, that was when they were. That was actually when they were past the gates of hell at that point. Like that's when it started playing tricks on everyone, and
Yeah.
that's when he saw the piano from his childhood, and
Right.
So yeah, I think her dad killed himself or something when she was a kid.
Oh, that's right.
And
She did say that.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I mean, they were, that kind of stuff was cool. Like that's the mystery, that's the horror part of it, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool, but the end, I guess, didn't, like, are they still there, or did they get out?
I think they got out, but I don't. Yeah, that sort of just kind of ended because all of a sudden they found the exit. Like, okay, well,
but the exit,
you guys are like thousands of feet under the ground. How do you just find the exit?
And the exit, like, I think this was kind of a positive just because it looked really cool, but going down a manhole to come up from the street. What?
Yeah.
And the camera was like outside it was like flipped over, so it was like upside down, and
yeah,
it was a trip. Like that part kind of threw me off. Like I felt like kind of off balance just sitting down. But like, I don't know, some of it just didn't make sense to me. I was like, okay, you're just throwing stuff in there to confuse me, or to just, and then it didn't really go anywhere after that. Like there was no resolution, I didn't feel like. But
yeah, well, she got her stone, so that's pretty much what she was going for in the first place.
Yeah.
For Sod, did they ever actually say why she was getting, like, for her? Because it was something that her dad was doing.
Yeah. I see. That's the thing too. I don't have.
Did he actually kill himself, or did did the gates of hell kill him, or something like?
And I think that was maybe the reason why I wasn't able to follow it super well, was the accents. Sometimes accents kind of throw me off, and like it's hard for me to like keep up. And then the fact that it's a found footage film, like, some of the sound it's not going to be clean. It's not going to sound clean, especially if there's things falling or breaking, or if there's any sort of chaos, then it's kind of hard to keep up with any dialogue in those moments. So I ended up turning the subtitles on toward the end of the movie, because I was like, okay, I'm missing some dialogue here, and maybe it'll explain to me what's happening right now.
You gotta rewatch it now with the subtitles on.
Yeah, maybe I need to.
What did I miss?
And so I feel like there's like parts where there's like people in the wall, and they like break out of the wall and attack them and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of lame.
That part was kind of lame to me too, actually.
And it's not this movie specifically. This is kind of an overall negative for movies like this, and I think it's just jump scares in general. There's a few jump scares in this movie, and it like leads up to a jump scare. So like they see someone like hanging, and so then they go up to the person all slow, and then they pull the cover off of their head, and then it's like, Wah! And I feel like this movie did a pretty good job at some of the subtle horror, where it was just like someone walking by in the background, or someone just sitting in a chair, and things like that. I think is way more effective than this, which this movie had a few occasions of that. Or if it were just someone, like she takes the hood off and then it's just someone looking at her, they're not dead, they're just staring at her.
Yeah,
like I think that would be cool. Or they just say something in a normal voice, like that. I feel like there's like opportunities to be scarier that this movie had, but then kind of ruined with, they went for the
They went for the jump scare instead. That's actually thinking about that. That was when I was thinking about the movie last night. That was actually going to be a positive for me. Was the fact that yes, there are jump scares, but there aren't that many in this movie, and you're talking about a movie where they're going to hell. So, of any found footage or any type of movie, you would think that this one would be full of jump scares. Yeah, and it's not. And they do have them in there throughout a couple of times, but I did appreciate the fact that that it didn't have that many jump scares for sure.
Yeah, no, you're right. It definitely could have been more with the storyline that they were going for.
Yeah.
But that's, so I guess it's kind of like a neutral for me because the scary parts were good, but then they had to throw those in there. And I'm like, you guys were just on the right path and then just didn't continue down that path. So, so it's not, I mean, it could be worse, so I don't know if I want to say it's a negative because, there's plenty worse out there. And that's about it, I think. Yeah. I think those are all my negatives. Okay. So Jason, if you're listening, I don't know if you're going to be happy with my score. But I think you'll like Joel's. Because it seems like he's going to go for a pretty high grade here. So
I enjoyed it.
All right. So. Joel, what you got for a grade?
I'm going to give this one an 85.
85.
Yeah, okay. It's a B. It's a solid B.
That's very solid.
Yeah.
Is this something that you would buy?
I already own it. Honestly,
okay.
I already owned it before we even did this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I had run across it plenty of times on Netflix. That's where it's at right now. And maybe this is why it's just kind of a movie for me because it doesn't interest me. Like the whole idea of going underground and treasure hunting and that kind of stuff. I can't relate to it because I would never do that. Like it would never even be something I'd even think of. Like there's no way I'm going underground and just walking through and digging deeper and deeper. Like no, I would never
do that. I think I do want to visit the catacombs at some point, though. I think that would be kind of cool to at least see.
Yeah.
At some point in my life.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the motivation for treasure hunting and all that, I don't really care. And so for me, I'm going 72.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was, I don't regret watching it, but I probably won't watch it again. Yeah. It was a decent enough movie. So we'll stick with that.
Well, where would you put it in found footage type movies? Like, would you say it's better or worse than? I'm not even gonna say Quarantine Cloverfield because that's definitely gonna be a.
Yeah, I like those.
Like more. Those ones a lot more, but maybe Blair Witch Project.
I like Blair Witch more.
Oh, okay.
I like Paranormal Activity, the first one. I like more than this. The other paranormals are fine. I would say this is probably in the same category as like Paranormal 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
I'd probably put it there. But see, with those movies, the paranormal movies, it takes place at people's homes. Like it takes place somewhere where I would be. I can relate. I can put myself in the characters' positions.
Yeah.
So that's important to me. To enjoy a movie and not kind of.
You'd never travel and go to Paris and visit the catacombs. And...
I don't know, like going to Paris, that'd be cool. But that I mean, it's just I don't know. It's too much out of my element for me to really like get into it. And I think that's just kind of the films that I relate to the most are the ones that I'm going to like the most.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not a like big fantasy fan or, even a huge sci-fi fan. Because I just can't connect with that. And
Yeah.
so this one is, not like so far out there. Like it's it's grounded enough, even though it's underground.
It's as about as grounded as you can get.
But then there are those elements that are a little, this is out of my element. So, so yeah, I would put it around 2 or 3 for the paranormal. I'd probably place it in that ballpark.
Okay.
So yeah, not horrible, but not great.
Yeah. I mean, it's 72 is still, for horror, that's still
Yeah.
pretty good. Like, as far as, like, IMDb goes and stuff, that's,
Yeah.
that's a good movie.
Our ratings are very different.
Yeah.
From
than
IMDb.
Yeah.
Because anything
Yeah.
like, from what I've seen on IMDb, anything in the like upper 5s or above is like
Or actually
what I
good.
like.
Yeah.
Even some 4s, I can get down with some 4s. So
Yeah.
yeah, IMDb not a very good comparison for us.
I know.
All right. This has been our episode on As Above, So Below, which I could not remember the name of this movie. I was kept trying to remember, like, I knew it was kind of strange, and I'm like, so far below, above, what? So
It is
yeah.
kind of a strange title, for sure.
And it did make sense after you watch the movie why it's titled that.
Yeah.
There is
They
relevance.
Yeah, they say it in the movie. So
Yeah, exactly.
actually,
Okay. Well, this has been Scare Talk.
sleep tight.
Don't let the sorcerer's or the philosopher's stone bite.
Oh man.